Okay, good night, Shabbos, everybody. We're up to the Hachaim, Per Chav Ches, Pasuk Beis. In this Hachaim, we're going to learn the Hachaim's explanation and understanding why the Kohen Gadol had 8 begadim. We know that a regular Kohen, when he served in the Beis Hamikdash, wore 4 begadim. The Kohen Gadol, when he did the Avodah, he had 8 begadim. So the Hachaim is going to ask, number 1, why 8? Why not a different number? What's so special about the number 8? Why 4 white and 4 gold? Right? What was specific with that combination? And in addition, what did the 8 begadim, the 8 clothing, the articles of clothing that the Kohen Gadol wore, what was the purpose of it? What was the function? We know that everything that was done in the Mishkan and in the Beis Hamikdash was to affect positive benefits for Klal Yisrael. For example, if a person did an Aveira and he brought a carbon, right? When the Kohen Gadol brought the carbon, and in some instances they ate from it, that brought an atonement, a kapara for the individual. Sometimes a person would bring a shlamim. We know the carbon Pesach. There were kabbalas that were brought every day. That's one of the reasons that there's a big inyan to say, to daven, the karbonos before davening, because the same effects that the karbonos had in the Beis Hamikdash, by us saying it, we affect a similar effect for us. The Beis Hamikdash was a conduit to bring Hashem's Shechina into this world, to bring bracha for Klal Yisrael. And not only for Klal Yisrael, as we know in Sukkah we also brought karbanos for all the nations of the world, right? As the Gemara says, if the nations of the world would know the benefits that we did for them on Sukkah, they would send their own armies to protect it. So therefore, we have to understand, says the Hachaim, what was the function of these 8 begadim. And the Hachaim is going to focus on the 2 words that the Pasuk says that seems to be extra, lekavod ulesiferes. Hakadosh Baruch Hu tells Moshe Rabbeinu in Per Chav Ches Pasuk Beis that the clothing, the big day kodesh that you're going to make for Aaron, your brother, will be lekavod ulesiferes. So we're going to start in the middle of the Hachaim that begins with the words Oy Yoimar. This is the second explanation that the Hachaim is going to focus on. This is Api Drush and Api Soid. The Hachaim is going to explain what benefits did the begadim affect for Klal Yisrael. O Yoimar, we could say, Ki ba Hashem lo says tam lo metziv shman begadim. The pasuk is coming to tell us why Hakadosh Baruch Hu told Moshe Rabbeinu that the Kohen Gadol should wear 8 begadim. Arba lavan, 4 of them are white, va'arba zahav, and 4 are gold. And again, why that combination? V'amar hatam, hu lekavod ulesiferes. The reason is that it should be a kavod ulesiferes. And, says the Hachaim, pirush api divreim, as explained in the Zohar. Now we know that there's esesphiros. There's some of them include kavod and a siferes. And therefore, based on that, the Zohar explains, Ki hashmoine begadim, the 8 begadim are a remez to 2 names of Hashem. Now, if you look at a siddur from Acheinu B'nei Esfardim, if you open it up, you'll see that when it says the letter Yud Kei Vav Kei, for example, Baruch Atah Hashem, many places it actually doesn't just say Yud Kei Vav Kei, it's actually a combination of 2 names of Hashem, Yud Kei Vav Kei and Aleph Daled Nun Yud. So it would be Yud, followed by an Aleph, Hey, followed by Daled. It would be a combination of these 2 names. This is what it's called in Kabbalah a Yichud. You take 2 names of Hashem, and you don't say the name, you mechaven, you have in mind the name. So when you say Yud Kei Vav Kei, you're actually having in mind the combination of these 2 names, and that affects a Yichud. There's other different names that Mekubalim know. These Mekubalim are specifically known as mechavnen, right? They are mechaven certain names of Hashem, and when they have in mind these names of Hashem, it affects a yichud, a combination of 2 different worlds in Shemayim, and the result is a positive benefit in this world. For example, if when we split the atom, it releases energy. That energy can be harnessed for good, right? You can create nuclear power, or chas v'shalom, we know that it can result in a very bad, terrible thing. Now, what does that mean? It means that inside every item there's energy. And we can affect that energy by manipulating it in certain ways. So therefore, the Mikubalim, when they put together two names and they have it in mind, they're not allowed to say the names. In addition, if you recall, by Birchas Kohanim, when the Kohanim on Yom Tov, they say the bracha, and some of the Sidurim on the bottom, there's a Hi Yiratzon. And in the brackets, there's names of Hashem. Those names of Hashem are taken from words in the Psukim. And it clearly says you're not supposed to say those names because we are Tameh, so you're not allowed to say those names. You have in mind. Again, those that do it, they do it. Those that don't do it, you could easily look up in the Sidurim, in the Machzor, usually it's said by Musaf, by Birkas Kohanim. You see clearly that there's certain names of Hashem, and by having in mind, it releases energy, and that energy produces a positive benefit for either individuals or Klal Yisrael, so on and so forth. So therefore, when the Kohen Gadol would wear these 8 begadim, the 4 lavan, the 4 white begadim, which references to Yud Kei Vav Kei, the 4 gold ones, which is referring to Aleph Daled Nun Yud, and now when he puts them together, he creates a yichud. So that's why you need 8, because these 2 letters of Hashem, these 2 names of Hashem rather, have each one 4 letters, combination of 8. So again, just to make sure we have it clear, the 8 begadim that the Kohen Gadol wore, 4 white and 4 gold, corresponds to 2 names of Hashem. The 4 white begadim corresponds to the name Yud Kei Vav Kei. Yud Kei Vav Kei has 4 letters, corresponding to the 4 white begadim. The 4 gold begadim correspond to the name of Hashem Aleph Daled Nun Yud. So you have 4 letters, 4 gold begadim. And when the Kohen Gadol wore them, he combined all 8 begadim together, similarly to combining these 2 names together as we explained. Now, why is white Aleph Daled Yud Kei Vav Kei and gold Aleph Daled Nun Yud? Nun Yud, that's already above my pay grade. That's something with Kabbalah. You have to ask someone who knows these things. And therefore, when the Kohen Gadol puts these begadim on, he releases energy, koich, Hashem's energy into this world, and that affects a tremendous positive benefit for Klal Yisrael. We know one of the things is that when the Kohen Gadol's, the bells that they wear shakes, that gives a kapara for Lashon Hara. The different things can affect different kaparas, and that is the words likavod ulesiferes for Klal Yisrael. And Hachaim says, by understanding this, we can understand the function of every item in the Mikdash, in the Mishkan, that the Kohen Gadol wore, the Kohanim wore, the specific kalims that they used, why it was certain measurements, why it was certain begadim, why the layers of the curtains were arranged in a certain way, why there's a certain amount of loops and certain amount of sticks. They all correspond to different inyanim in Kabbalah, that through them we release HaKadosh Baruch Hu's energy kaviyachol into this world.